Adam carries my bag inside and up the stairs. I follow as we pass many doors which I know lead to bedrooms, but unlike last time, one door is open that has always been closed. Unaware, I glance inside as we pass, but the contents of the room bring me to a stop. Adam soon realizes that I'm not with him, and he turns. My hand pushes the door further open. It's a boy's room, that's clear. Not a little boy, but what I would assume to be a teenage boy's room. "What is this?" I ask Adam. "That was my brother's room," he says. My hand springs from the door as if it has suddenly become searing hot. "Oh, sorry," I mutter and quickly bring the door to its previous position. We enter the master bedroom and he places my bag down for me to unload. "My parents kept his room," Adam says. "I couldn't take it down either." "Of course," I say. "I never told you what happened to him, how he died." "Adam, you don't have to," I assure him. He worries me when he says, "I think you deserve to know, now that you're living here part of the time, now that things between us have settled." I come over to him and place my hand on his arm. "What do you mean?" In an alpha's family, if there are two sons, the eldest son takes the position of alpha after the father. It isn't common nowadays, but the younger could challenge the older for the title to prove to be the better choice. My brother did this. "He challenged you? What did you have to do?" I ask. "You fight in shifted form. It isn't supposed to be messy. It's a clean fight, and usually the weaker gives up before it goes too far. I shouldn't have agreed to do it. He was different that day. I would have never agreed to it if I knew how he would be." I swallow. "He was unstable, dangerous, messy. I tried to end it many times, but he wasn't giving in. He died because I killed him," Adam says, his eyes aimed directly into my own. My hand falls from his arm. "Adam, I would have never done it if I knew he was going to die. But toward the end, I knew that he wasn't going to stop until one of us did." My stomach is uneasy. The thought of Adam killing his own brother clouds my head. I don't know what to think, but I sit down on the edge of the bed, just in case I start to stumble. Adam comes down to my level. "I don't want you to fear me, Wrenley, but I feel like I have been keeping this from you. It isn't possible for me to rectify or forgive what I did. I regret it every day of my life, but it is a part of me that I have been avoiding since I met you. I don't want to feel as if I am hiding things from you, not anymore." "It wasn't an accident?" I mumble. Adam lets out a heavy breath. "I don't think it was, not at the time." He takes my hand in between his own. "Wrenley, I would never do anything to hurt you, shifted or as man. You know that, don't you?" I abruptly stand up. "You had to tell me this? Why?" My hand leaves his grasp. What would my family think? I convince them that staying with Adam is a good idea, but they don't know what he's done. My mother would have never given me her blessing if this came up. There's more to them than I thought. There are dark practices and deadly matches. How could Adam fight his own brother and end up taking his life? What does it take to kill one's own brother? "I told you, I don't want any secrets between us. I want you to know who I am, the good and bad," he says. "Is that who you are, Adam?" His gaze falls to the floor. "I did it, didn't I? It's not something I can forget, not something I can make excuses for." I cross my arms and notice my drifting steps. Adam doesn't reach out to me. He lets me wander and take my time. It wasn't like him to challenge me. He had no interest in being alpha before, but I assume he was keeping it from all of us. My family doesn't talk about it. We haven't said his name in 2 years, but his room sits there like some sort of shrine. I tried to put it all away earlier, but I couldn't. If I did, it would be like I've moved on and forgiven myself. His eyes are no longer on me. He stares at the wall, but I know his mind is elsewhere, imagining sad things that shouldn't be wished upon anybody. It frightens me knowing that Adam did such a thing. Yet, I don't feel like there is enough room for me to judge him for what he did. He's taken up all the space himself. Maybe I'm moving on easily because I never knew his brother, because I didn't lose a son or sibling or friend. Maybe it's because our bond brings me to quick resolutions. Whatever it is, it draws me closer to him. Adam stands and finally looks to me again. "I want to know you," I say softly. "The good and the bad." Ben stops by with alpha business. I leave them alone in the office while I finish putting away my things. Adam cleared space for me, which warms my heart. The break gives me time to think without his presence influencing me, but I fail to come to any new conclusions. I don't see him until dinner is ready. Thankfully, Yuki had been busy cooking, so we didn't have to worry about it ourselves, and I asked Ben to join us. He agrees after I ask 2 more times. There is so much food that we could no doubt feed 3 more people on top of us, but the 2 impressed me when they managed to finish the feast off on their own. I wonder where all the food goes. Ben answers with, "What can I say? We're animals," when I ask them how they did it. As I ate, I thought about Mom and Grandma and how they must be eating dinner right about now. I wonder what they talk about when I'm not there. I wonder if they're discussing my situation with Adam, whether or not they've both grasped the concept of the supernatural and how it swallowed me whole. What happened to the Wrenley that stayed in on Friday nights watching bad TV on the couch with a pint of ice cream? The Wrenley that spent lunches in the library or under a tree with a good book? Ben leaves and the rest of the night is promised to me. Adam takes a quick shower, so I put on my pajamas and wander downstairs for a glass of water. The house is big and empty and quiet. The sounds of my footsteps are loud against the wood floors as I trace my previous steps to the kitchen. It's like being in a haunted mansion, except the ghosts are replaced with werewolves. My eyes shift from the dark hallways to the black windows in anticipation. At any moment, a rogue or evil mother-in-law will jump out and send me running for the bedroom like a child for their mother. I don't like being down here alone at night. Because of last time's events, I can't help but suspect danger around every corner. Hopefully, over time, I'll grow more and more comfortable. The rogue must have stayed far away, as there's been no trouble since then, at least that I know of. Adam makes me feel safe. I know he'll protect me, but there are so many things out of his control. It's hard to imagine being in this house without him. I fill a glass with water, and it immediately turns ice cold against my fingers. Footsteps descend the stairs and near me as I drink. I place the glass down on the counter and turn to the kitchen entrance just as Adam appears. "I came down for water," I say, feeling as if I need an explanation for my being anywhere in this house. Adam nods and comes over. "You aren't cold?" I peer down at my camisole and sleeping shorts, both seeming unusual for December. "Oh, you're always so warm. I don't really need to layer up when we sleep next to each other." "Right," he says. "Is something wrong?" "Wrenley, what I told you earlier, I can't help but worry that your opinion of me has changed. With the truth comes consequences, and I'm willing to face them. But..." My lips part, and without thinking I say, "Don't worry, it was a little unexpected, sure, but I don't really know what to think about all of it. I'm still here though, right? I didn't grab my bag and run for the hills." Adam sighs. He leans against the counter, crossing his arms over his chest. "Come on, let's go upstairs and not think about any of that." My hands gently run along his crossed arms, unfolding them all to guide him out of the kitchen. I lead the way up the steps this time. If I don't show Adam that I'm unbothered, then I'm afraid he'll never stop wondering whether I fear him or not. I don't think Adam should worry about such things. I think I should be the one worrying. Why has this sudden information not changed my view of him? Not even a smidge. Do I blame it on our bond and move on? Surely I shouldn't try and force myself to change my opinion to something closer to that of a normal human response. What about this situation is human? Considering his confession from a shifter's point of view may serve me best, although I'd have to ask if death is common to them. I hope it isn't. In the bedroom, I climb onto the bed and lay on top of the comforter. My eyes follow Adam as he turns off the bathroom light and then the main light above me. We're left in the dim warmth of the matching, elegant lamps, sat on either side of the bed. I secure a pillow against my torso and hold it there tightly. "I've never seen so much of you," Adam says casually as he settles down. "So much of me?" He glances over. "So much skin." My arms grasping the pillow restrict further like a snake suffocating its prey. "I can put on a sweatshirt if I'm making you uncomfortable," I say sarcastically. As expected, he ignores me. I also have pants. Adam brings his arms up and rests his head in the palms of his hands. "Why cover up? If I remember correctly, you like to see me struggle." My face immediately flushes. I push off the bed and sit myself up. "I knew I should have never told you anything." Instead of speaking, Adam's face lights up as if he forgot something. He then takes off his shirt and tosses it to the ground before returning to his lounged position. Give it a rest. I groan and throw my pillow down at his bareness. Facing the other way, I get under the blankets and scoot over until I'm nearly falling off the edge of the bed. My body curls up as if I'm activating a defense mode against my own oversharing. He pats my arm and I ball up more. When his hand works its way past my armor and turns me back to face him, I say, "I knew you would use it against me." I know. Forgive me." The lightness in his tone makes me roll my eyes. I know that on the surface this is all fun and games, but there is a genuine truth to my words. There's a fear tucked deep inside of me, a fear of intimacy, of exposure. I put on a camisole and shorts because it gets too hot in long pajamas with him, yes, but I'm also dipping a toe in the water. I reach over and turn off the lamp on my side of the bed. He's watching me, and when I look back at him, our eyes meet. I raise my brows. "Well, you know how I like it." Adam smiles to himself, lays his head on his pillow, and outstretches his arm for me. I lay against him and nestle my head on his chest and in the crook of his arm. My knee rests on top of his leg and my arm drapes over him. While anchored down by my body, he stretches out to the lamp and turns it off, drenching the room in darkness. My chronic worries come true when I wake after a few hours of sleep. I mindlessly yank at the blanket to warm up due to the chill that's overcome me. My mind turns on then, and I lift up only to find Adam's place empty. The bathroom is dark, but there's a light on somewhere in the house that just kisses the open doorway to the bedroom. Despite this, there's an absence in my gut, the feeling I get when Adam isn't with me. Quickly, I slide off the bed and wrap myself in a throw blanket. I wander into the hall, searching for the light like a moth, even though, deep down, I know he isn't here. I sit against the front door, enveloped in my blanket, waiting without a drop of patience in my being. The tile floor is hard and cold, but I've adapted to the discomfort and stopped caring about my numb toes. My mind is conjuring all sorts of things I want to shout at him. There are so many things that I can't seem to decide what to say first. Maybe how it's our first night as people that live partially together, and he's abandoned me on this special marker. Maybe how this is the second time he's done this, left with little to no explanation, and all I can do is worry until he comes back if he does. Maybe how I'm in this house all alone and something could happen to me. He must have left for a reason. My fingernails dig unconsciously into my palms as my eyes stay fixated on the ground. Sounds come from outside then, and I perk up like a dog who's been waiting for their owner all day. The pull rekindles in my core, so I clamber to my feet and peer out the window on the door. 2 people are stammering up the driveway. I squint and realize it's Adam and Ben. Confusion consumes me. Like a volcano that's ready to blow, I unlock the door and swing it open, letting the frigid air pour in. The 2 peer up at me, and soon I notice their struggle, or rather his struggle. My hand drops from the door handle. I take a few steps onto the porch. Adam is leaning somewhat on Ben. I knew something caused that pain in my side. "What the hell?" I ask, more so concerning Adam's state than my anger toward him. My urge to bubble over dies down. Adam's gaze leaves me. My beady eyes shift to Ben. "There was a situation," Ben says. I step aside as he helps Adam through the door. My chest aches relentlessly, desperate to know why my mate is staggering, why he's holding his side. I follow and close the door. Ben brings him to the kitchen. Adam leans against the counter, still pressing on his side, but now in the light, I see the red on his shirt. "Why are you bleeding?" I ask, trying to remain calm even though the sight of his blood is making tears well in my eyes. Adam winces when he lifts his hand a bit. "Keep the pressure on it," Ben orders and opens a cabinet stocked with bandages and gauze and other medical emergency type things. I swear to God, if someone doesn't tell me what happened right now, I'm gonna freak. Ben looks to Adam. Adam sighs and says, "There was a situation. I got nipped. It's not bad. I'll be fine." "So, you aren't going to tell me why you left in the middle of the night without telling me? And you're just going to prance around what actually happened to you? There's blood all over your shirt, Adam. Are you serious?" "It's fine," he says. "Go back to bed. I'll be there in a bit." My chest rises and falls and rises and falls. Ben, who I know is well aware of how much of an ass Adam is being, motions for him to lift up his shirt. When I see the horrific bite mark buried in his flesh, I swiftly leave the kitchen. I hear Ben say something, but I can't make it out as I hurry up the steps, fuming. This is not what I wanted when I nearly begged my mother to live here with him. I did not expect Adam to be disappearing as I sleep, all to return with giant bite marks. How could he brush me off like that? How could he tell me to go back to bed like a pet in front of Ben? I slap the light switches in the bedroom and throw my suitcase to the floor. Taking all of my clothes from the closet, I dump them into the bag. I then head to the bathroom and gather all of my belongings from there before tossing them in as well. It's a fight to zip it up, but the adrenaline pumping through me helps. Shakily, I tap at my phone, then hold it to my ear. It rings, then goes to voicemail. I try again. Hello? Vivian, it's Wrenley. I mutter while standing up my bag and throwing on my sweatshirt. Wrenley? What's going on? It's 2 a.m, she says groggily. I need you to come get me. Please. I can't be here right now. I'm so mad at him, you have no idea. I can't call my mom because she'll say that she told me so. Just please, Vivian. I'll owe you big time. Just please come get me. There's a moment of silence before she says, I'll be there in 5. Relief overcomes me. I pick up my bag and heave it down the stairs. Their voices are in range again, but this time I don't care to listen. I don't care what they're talking about. It's not like he can tell me anyway. They must hear me coming back down, making noise with my suitcase. Ben calls for Adam to wait, but he doesn't listen. Before I can make it out the door, Adam is in pursuit, fighting the pain that I know has engulfed his torso because I can feel bits of it too. Shirtless and covered in a large white bandage, he grabs my arm and moves in front of the door. You know how much that bothered me the last time. You didn't even bother to tell me you were leaving. You couldn't even tell me what the hell did that to you. There's a giant bite in your side, and you have the nerve to tell me to go back to bed. What the hell? I try to push past him, but he's like a brick wall. Wrenley, don't leave, he says. I don't want you to worry about these things. You shouldn't be worried about these things. I shake my head. Get out of my way. Look at me. Come on, Wrenley, just look at me, he asks, and I do so even though the tears are threatening to fall. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to leave, okay? Let's just go back to bed. Come on, let me hold you. Get out of my way. Adam, growing more desperate, lowers down to look up at me. He winces. Don't leave. You have to trust me that I'm not telling you for your own well-being. You don't want to know what happened, okay? I don't want you living in fear. I take in an unsteady breath. I know. You don't think I can handle it. That's why you won't bring up the whole Luna thing. I'm just a scared, weak little human girl, right? Just let me go. Someone is coming to get me. Wrenley, let me go now before I leave for good, I blurt. Defeated, Adam watches as I move past him and open the door. He watches as I make my way down the porch steps and the driveway to Vivian's mother's car. His gaze feels like 1,000 pounds weighing on me. I fight to not look back at him when I get in the car, because I know I may run to him if I do. I shut the door and bury my head in my hands. Vivian says nothing. I wake up in her bed the next morning, alone. The shutters block out all sunlight. Oddly enough, the absence in my gut isn't there. I lay in bed for a while and think back to all that happened last night and all that I said to Adam. I should feel horrible, and I do, but not in the sense that I presumed I would. Physically, I feel okay. Not great, but okay. My stomach grumbles a little, and I think about breakfast. It is going to be horrible to go home today and face my mom, but I'm going to have to agree with her. Moving in with someone, even part of the time, is not a walk in the park. Adam and I couldn't even last one. A knock at the door steals my attention. The handle turns and Vivian pokes her head through. Hey, she starts. I thought I heard you moving around. Vivian, I don't even know how to thank you. Picking me up was more than enough, but letting me stay here, giving me your bed, it means a lot to me. Last night was just terrible. You really saved me there. She eases in and sits on the edge of her bed. Yeah, it looked pretty bad from where I was sitting. I've never seen Adam look so solemn. Oh, God. I murmur and run my hands down my face. I don't even know what I'm going to do about him. You won't believe what he did, what he said. She bobs her head side to side while saying, Well, actually, I do. What? he told me. I rub my eyes, believing that I still may be asleep. Sorry, he told you? When? Like 2 hours ago. He's been waiting for you downstairs all morning. My stomach lurches forward. I stare at her. He's downstairs, right now? He came by this morning and asked to see you. I told him you were still sleeping. He asked to wait. He's my alpha. I said yes. My parents were a little nervous at first, having the alpha waiting their living room, but they've settled down now. I got him to talk and he explained what happened to me. Maybe he wanted a second opinion. I fall back against her pillows and bring my hands up to my hairline. Adam is downstairs? Yes, Viviane clarifies. Well, what do you think about it then? Whose side are you on? She stands up from the bed. Look, both of you have your reasons. I can understand both sides. I think you should just talk it through like you have before when stuff gets all jumbled up. I bite my cheek while thinking briefly. I don't know if I want to see him right now. He really got to me. He doesn't think I can do it, Viviane. Do what? Be the Luna. Be a part of your world. Not fully, anyway. He doesn't think I can handle the truth and how scary it can be. He sees me as a human, and he knows there's weakness in that. It was just one night. Can't you give it another shot? Sitting up, I ask, what about what I just said has anything to do with one single night? It isn't just because of last night. That's just the way things are. He wants me to be his mate, but not a Luna. Viviane's mouth opens, then closes. She looks to the floor, then at me. I don't know what to say. I don't want to see him, I mumble. Wrenley, is it really about doing all the things a Luna does? I shake my head. It's about everyone looking down on me. Everyone thinks I'm too weak. Students at school gossip about it. His mother couldn't even give me more than a few minutes. And now him. For the first few weeks he wouldn't even speak to me face to face. I had to hunt him down. I just tell him that I want him to go, and then I'm going to go as well. She waits for a few seconds, maybe to see if I'll change my mind. Eventually she leaves the room and heads back downstairs. I don't leave the bed until I hear the front door open and close. Getting up, I head to the window and open the shutters just a bit so I can watch him walk out and get in his truck. The absence in my gut returns. Despite her offering to drive me home, I take my suitcase and walk the few minutes to Grandma's house. The trees offer me an escape that I consider many times on the way. I have enough to last me a couple of days. What if I just left this town? Can't I just live with all of this back and forth pleasure and pain? I bet that would prove to everyone how strong I am. The human girl that had the strength to leave her mate. I roll my suitcase up to Grandma's front door, and I ring the bell. It feels like I've just arrived in Waindale again, and I'm ready to move in and start my new life. Funny. Grandma answers the door slowly, looks me up and down, and asks, Wrenley, what happened? What are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be with Adam? She hurries me in after noticing my goosebump-covered legs that have been roughed up by the winter wind. It didn't go well, I say, standing with my icy hands burrowed up in my sleeves. I don't think we're ready to take that step. Oh, well, dear, that's okay. Come on, why don't you go shower and warm up? Your mother is at her yoga class, but she'll be home soon. I swallow and take my suitcase to my room. Hey, kid. Glancing up from the nest of blankets and pillows and clothes that I've made myself on my bed, I see my mother walk into my shadowy room. She comes to my depressed laying figure, urges me to scoot over, then sits beside me. Grandma told me that you aren't feeling good today. That's okay. Missing one day of school here and there, it won't hurt, she says and brushes the top of my head with her fingers. I just wanted to check in. Grandma said she'll make you something to eat if you're hungry. I shake my head. Maybe later then. This reminds me of when you were younger. Before bed, I used to read you stories and we'd be sat like this. I would read and play with your hair and you'd be out in minutes. Remember? Well, it was pretty cute. God, does it hurt. I remember when I was your age and I had my heart broken in this godforsaken town. I shift a little, curious. It was one of the hardest weeks of my life. You know what? Let me just tell you. I was a senior in high school, and I had this boyfriend that Grandma actually showed you in my yearbook, John Amon. We were picturesque. He was on the football team and all the girls loved him. I wasn't a cheerleader or anything like that, you know me, but I had some friends and people knew my name. Probably not for the best reasons, but I caught John's attention and suddenly we'd been dating for a few months. He was my first boyfriend, and boy, was I in love. We did everything together. I would go to his football games, he would take me to the movies and to the park. There used to be an ice rink. We'd go there a lot too. Obviously, Tali was my best friend, so she would hang out with us too. One time, she wanted to meet up with some students that she knew from the academy. Little did I know what she really is. Back then, I had no clue. Anyway, John, Tali, and I met up with this group of students, and in them was this guy named Jack. Like the teenage girl I was, I thought Jack was the hottest guy ever. Bless my poor soul, but suddenly I was over John and willing to do anything to get Jack's attention. Tali and I started hanging out with these academy students, and I wouldn't tell John where I was or who I was actually with. I was a terrible girl. Wren, really. Eventually, after all my efforts, Jack started giving me the light of day. We hung out a few times by ourselves. There was something about him, even to this day, I've never met anyone like him. He had this effect on me. Jack and I got close. I was so convinced that we were going to be together that I broke things off with John. It hurt him a lot. He stayed clear of me at school. He put all of his energy into football, and we actually made it pretty far in that state championship stuff. Back to Jack. We had been seeing each other for a month or two, and I wanted to make things official. I wanted Jack to be my one and only. That's how smitten I was. Completely entranced. He could do no wrong in my eyes. But when I gave him my all, when I asked him to be mine, he broke my heart. He said that I wasn't the one for him, even though I knew he was the one for me. I couldn't understand. We had done a lot together, you get me? I wasn't just going to let him slip through my fingertips. That led to him turning me down the hard way, saying horrible things, really rubbing it in that I wasn't good enough for him. It did the job, though. I understood that we weren't going to be together, and I gave up trying. I laid in bed for days. Grandma couldn't get me up even to shower. In the darkest of moments, I thought about throwing my life away. Drinking, drugs, anything to feel better. Thank God Tali Smith was there for me. She saved me from a lot of trouble. Now I know what you're thinking, kid. What about John Amon? Well, we graduated. I left Waindale, and he went on with his life. 5 years later, I was in Seattle, living, trying to get published while working as a receptionist. I went to this bar at a hotel one night with some friends, and he was there staying at the hotel. He looked the same. He looked good. We talked. I apologized for how terrible I was to him, and the conversation just flew by. A few drinks later, and we went to his hotel room. I nudged her then, not wanting to hear the details of what happened in the hotel room. Yeah, I know. But Wren, listen. I know I should have told you this a while ago, maybe. That night, the hotel room, I got pregnant. That's how it happened. John Amon is your biological father. My heart stops. I know. Out of the blue. Sorry, but I just thought it was time you at least knew his name. Now, if you want, you can do with that information what you must. You're 18. Later that night, I sneak out of my bedroom when everyone is fast asleep. I take the yearbook and get back under my covers. My hands search frantically for the page with that tiny photo Grandma showed me before. It doesn't take long to find Amon John. My fingertip runs over the image and my lips murmur, "Dad!" I stare at the tiny picture of the honey-haired, blue-eyed teenage boy for a while. I try to imagine what he looks like now. Maybe the same if he's lucky. A football player. I wonder what he does now. I wonder if he has a family, what job he has, where he lives. He doesn't know about me. My mom told me that some time ago. Your dad, he doesn't know about you. Is that okay? It was a casual conversation on a Sunday morning while we ate our newest sugary cereal and watched bad television. I didn't care whether he knew about me or not. Is it weird that I still don't? John Amon is my dad, and that's nice to know. But I like the way things are right now concerning the parents in my life. I'm sure he has his own thing going on anyway. I hope he has a family. A wife and some kids maybe, that would settle me. I have my mom and grandma, so I would hope he has good people in his life too. Having a dad, it's not something I need right now. Sure, when I was 8 or 9, having a dad would have been great, but not now. The last thing I want is to explain my situation with Adam to another important figure in my life. And from what I've seen on TV, dads don't take such information well. Closing the yearbook, I place it on my bedside table and curl up in my blankets. At least I have someone else to think about now. I wake up for school the next morning with what feels like a ton of bricks on my chest. My face is washed, teeth brushed, hair combed, clothes changed, deodorant rubbed, food force-fed, shoes tied, jacket zipped, backpack strapped, and music playing. The music puts a new kind of noise in my head, one that isn't a clutter of nervous thoughts about Adam. 3 days. A new record. December in Waindale is unforgiving. I have only been here or 1 or 2 Christmas, yet spending an entire winter here brings an entirely new sort of cold. It's a cold that tricks you by feeling warm, but soon you realize that your fingernails and lips are blue and that your eyelashes have a thin layer of ice forming on them. When I visited for the week, it was just cold weather. Now it's home. Only home could trick you into loving something that hurts you. I walk up the side steps of Waindale Academy and enter through the side door by the tennis courts where no one should be waiting for me. Since I missed school yesterday, I head straight for my first period classroom to talk over what I may have missed with my teacher. Promptly, I notice the looks from fellow students. Then, after walking further into the school, the emptiness in my core that I had gotten used to these past 3 days seems to fill. More bricks are added to the load weighing on my chest and some to my feet. I stop halfway down the hall and cling to the lockers, leaning against them, as I contemplate missing another day of school. The feeling intensifies, so I start walking the opposite way, back down the hall and out the side doors. I walk through the tennis courts and around to the parking lot, which eventually takes me to the main entrance. I hesitantly climb the steps and enter the school once more. The feeling has cooled down a bit, and Vivian or Imogen are nowhere in sight, so I try again to make it to my classroom. More students look at me as if they're saying, "Your mate is here. The alpha is here." Don't worry, I'm well aware. It only feels like a rock has been surgically placed inside my stomach. When the feeling grows again like magic beans in my body, I turn down a random hallway before the beanstalk rips through my chest. I pass a group of students as they pin up flyers on a corkboard regarding the winter formal. It's decorated with sparkly snowflakes, and I think about how excited Vivian is for it. I remember telling her that I would probably be busy with Adam that night. I would probably be spending the night with him because it's on a Saturday, and that's one of my days living with him. Oh, how I was so excited to be staying with him. How I packed my suitcase on the exact same day that I found out I could pack one at all. The feeling grows. I find another exit, and suddenly, I'm caught playing an endless game of cat and mouse. The only way to escape is to leave the playing field, to leave school and miss another day. Would I rather put my education at risk than handle running into Adam? I walk around the building in the direction of the parking lot yet again. This time, I don't plan on sneaking in, though. I'll walk to the diner and force-feed myself pancakes, or maybe I'll visit the library and give back that book that I never returned. Wrenley. My eyes widen as if I've been shot from behind. My hand springs to my chest and I look at my palm for blood. Peering back, I see Adam hurrying down the front steps. He called my name like thunder from above. I won't be surprised if lightning strikes me dead right here and now. Not wanting to return to my gloomy nest of a bedroom, I pick up my pace and head for the street. I know if I talk to him, I'll break down. I've been laying in bed, helpless, for the past 3 days, and I don't want to go back there. It's a dark place, and sometimes I'm scared that I won't make it out. So, all to keep together this taped-up, superglued version of myself, I book it across the street and into the trees where I can try to mask my scent with all the woods has to offer. I've lasted 3 days without him. I know I can make this one 4. And then as long as I keep force-feeding myself, and as long as I don't throw up, and as long as I get at least 3 hours of sleep a night, maybe I can make it more than 4. More than 5. Who knows? 6 days gives me hope that I can last forever. Walking aimlessly from tree to tree, I bury myself. The feeling in my core is unwavering. It has been. I've been eating. Yeah, and I sleep some too. I call out into the forest. I'm stronger than you think, strong enough to leave Waindale, strong enough to leave you. You can't keep me here. You can't keep me. You're right, I'm not suited for your life. I'm a human. I'm not supposed to know all the scary things in the world. My voice fills my head and the air around me. I know he can hear me. I know he's here. If you just let me go, I think I can make it. We can do it. We can stay far away from each other and wear down the bond. I can live my human life, and you can live as Alpha, and do what you have to do to keep the bloodline going. I steady myself against a tree trunk, my fingers gripping at the icy bark. The ground doesn't sink under my feet as it did. It feels hard, frozen. Come on, I murmur. Just let me try at least. He appears then, like I knew he would. My face scrunches up a little, my nose tingling and eyes pricking with tears. Oh, I guess not. Does this break my record? I think we're too close now. Adam nears me like it's his job to do so, to collect me when I'm running off track and set me back on the right path. He comes right up to me and he takes my arm. His brow furrows and he leans close as if to kiss me. Have you been drinking? He questions, serious. My face was washed, teeth brushed, hair combed, clothes changed, deodorant rubbed. This is when I snuck a hefty sip from a bottle Grandma keeps under the counter in a corner cabinet of random things. Food force-fed, shoes tied, jacket zipped, backpack strapped, and music playing. My mother mentioned her coping methods to me. 3 days of force-feeding, vomiting, and staying up all night drives people to do reckless things. I haven't been drinking. I just did a little. Adam takes me out of the forest and walks me to his truck. He puts me in the front seat before getting in himself. My eyes jump from student to student as a few enter and leave through the doors. Before I realize it, tears are streaming down my cheeks because I know I would die without him. I face him with my wet eyes and blood-filled lips. He stops suddenly while starting the truck. The sad thing is, I say softly, is that you can treat me like dirt, and I'm sure I'll still want you. You could hurt me, really hurt me, and I would still end up like this without you. You told my mother that you don't want me to feel trapped because I am trapped, right? He says nothing. Adam starts the truck and it hums. I sit in the corner of the shower and watch the tips of my fingers shift from blue as they warm. The water falls onto my legs from above like a million little punches or swift, passionate kisses. My head is clearing now. The fog has drifted and it's easier to think. I can feel Adam's presence on the other side of the bathroom door. I'm conflicted once again. Half of me wants him to hold me and run his hand down my hair, but the other half wants to remain cold. Although I was falling to pieces, it was easier without him. My purpose was clear. Last as long as you can. My purpose isn't clear now. I don't know what to do, so I sit here and watch my hands like a mermaid studies her new legs. Wrenley, I hear him call, his voice low and worn down. Will you come out of the bathroom? How long have I been in here? Adam put me in his truck, drove as I silently wept, brought me home, and I came straight in here. I pulled myself up the steps and went to the bathroom as if the plan to hide was already in my mind. The forest froze me and my head was spinning, so the shower seemed like a good option. And if I happened to cry again, maybe he wouldn't hear me over the downpour. Sometime while I was hiding away in this corner, it started to rain outside. Now all I hear is the small but persistent sounds of pitter-pattering all around me. That, and Adam's voice. I reach above me and turn the shower off instead of giving a vocal answer. Exhausted, I slowly lift off the tiled floor and step out of the glass box. My hair is slicked back and hangs between my shoulder blades. My skin is the color of the alive and not the dead, and I hope I start to act like it too. I wrap a towel around my body and open the bathroom door just a crack. Half of my face looks out. He's standing there like I knew he would be. Can I have some clothes? I ask, hushed. I wait at the crack in the doorway until he comes back and hands me a small pile. After drying myself off, I shrug on the long sleeve and bring up the cozy sweatpants. I secure them by tightening the drawstring. When I emerge, Adam is waiting on the bed. His gaze lifts to me, and mine trickles to the floor. What do you want to do? He asks. Of course, only the hardest question he could have possibly asked. Adam continues, If you want to leave, I'll take you home. My bottom lip is held firmly between my teeth. Is there any point in fighting this? If I leave, I go back to lying to myself. I go back to shoving forkfuls into my mouth as I restrain myself from gagging. I go back to closing my eyes at night, pretending to be asleep. I go back to that cave of a room, all to lay in darkness as he eats away at my mind. There's no point in fighting him, because every time I swing, every time I kick, I'm the one that's being beaten up. I walk past him to the other side of the bed. My hand brings back the comforter, and I get underneath it. I hear him sigh. This is it. This is forever. Adam turns around and stretches along the bed to face me. Come on, talk to me, he says, and places his hand on my arm, moving it up and down, trying to soothe me. I don't want to talk. His pretty face falls a little more. He lays on his stomach and holds up on his elbows. I want you to be safe. What I don't know can't hurt me. That isn't real safety, I counter. How come you can do all of this to keep me safe, but when it comes to me worrying about you, it isn't the same? How would you feel if I left in the middle of the night without telling you? Adam's eyes stay hardened. What if I left and came home like you did? Blood everywhere, bitten, and didn't tell you what happened to me. How would you feel? How would you react? You know you would lose your shit, Adam. I can take care of myself, he says sternly. And I can't. No, you can't. So much for not talking. Annoyed, I abruptly sit up and he does the same. I can take care of myself. If you didn't come after me, I could have made it. When I found you, you were stumbling around the forest, smelling like liquor. When was the last time you ate? Slept? Don't tell me that you can make it when you're a zombie after 3 days. I clench my jaw. I was still trying to get over what happened. You had to come looking for me, because I know you're scared that I can make it without you. You had to see for yourself that I was a mess so you could collect me, take me back, and know that I'd have no argument. Could you wait a week? 2? What if it starts to get better? That's how heartbreak works. It's bad for the first bit, but you bounce back. You know it wouldn't have gotten better, he says lowly. So what? You have the nerve to sit here and tell me that I can't take care of myself? You're going to lecture me about how much I need you, then act like it isn't a two-way street? Adam gets off the bed then. He heads for the door, so I instinctively get out from under the blanket and follow. Where are you going? I don't want to fight with you, he mutters. Adam makes his way down the hall, so I quickly move past him and stand as a roadblock. You wanted to talk, but since I'm not saying what you want to hear, you're going to walk away? That's not how this works. Adam moves past me and goes down the steps, but I remain hot on his trail. As he moves, he says, You can't take care of yourself, Wrenley. That's the truth. You don't know the kinds of things that are out there. You wouldn't come home bloody if something attacked you. You would be dead. At the bottom of the steps, he turns to me. His hands grip my upper arms, squeezing. I can take care of myself because I'm a monster. This is all you are, he says, his voice raised, his hold on me only tightening. You can't defend yourself. You aren't strong enough to fight. You aren't fast enough to run away. This is all you are, and it scares the hell out of me. My eyes water, yet I'm not sure if it's from his grip or his words. So when I leave at night, stay in the house. When I refuse to tell you about all the things that could easily take you from me, understand why. When I say hide, you hide. When I say run, you run. Now understand, Wrenley. Understand why it has to be this way. He's nearly shaking me at this point. The tears building in my eyes can't help but spill. Adam brings me to his chest and wraps his arms around me. His hand rests on the back of my head, and with my ear pressed to him, I can hear his heart beating relentlessly. He's right. I can't take care of myself, not when it comes to the big bad things that creep in the shadows. I wouldn't last a day without you, he breathes, so let me protect you. I nod against him, and he pulls away slightly. He looks down at me, and I nod again with tears smeared across my cheeks. Maybe he's right about something else, too. Maybe I don't want to know what's out there. I don't want to know what sort of things would bring Adam to such desperation. I call my mother and tell her that I'll be with Adam tonight. It takes me a bit to explain everything to her, why I'm no longer heartbroken, but she lets this one slide. I suppose she believed me when I told her that what I have with Adam is forever. I couldn't hang up before she said, People fight. They argue. I would be worried if you didn't. Over the weekend, Vivian and Imogen pick me up from Adam's while he's busy. We go to the town center, the place with the many little shops with the water and the boardwalk. We're supposed to meet Eli and Alara at the end of the boardwalk, but Imogen stops when we walk by the ice cream parlor. She heads inside, saying she'll be just a minute. "Who wants ice cream outside in December?" Vivian mutters. "We're going to get hot chocolate at Barb's." Barb's is a small coffee place at the end of the boardwalk. Eli and Alara are already there, warm inside with steam wafting into their faces from their hot mugs. We peer through the window to see what's taking her so long. "Let me go get her," Vivian says, and suddenly I'm out front alone. I bounce on my heels, glancing back at the two girls every few seconds. The shop where I was gifted the moon goddess necklace is right next door. I walk over and look at the window displays of artwork with singular lights pouring down on them. When a man comes out of the shop's doors, I mindlessly glance over, but the glance becomes a stare. My brow furrows. The man must sense my unfaltering gaze because his head turns to me as well. He mirrors my same look of confusion. "Wrenley?" he says. "Is that you? Or Rachel's daughter?" My lips part ever so slightly. Yes, I am." Unease settles in my gut. The man takes a step or two closer with his hands awkward in his jacket pockets. "Well, this is unexpected. I didn't know your mother was back in Waindale." I swallow. "We moved here in the fall, a few months ago. So I'm guessing you know who I am then." "You're John Amon," I say, my voice surprisingly clear. "Why are you here?" "Well, I recently moved back. Last week, kind of recent, actually." Suddenly, my jacket feels as if it's shrinking. My breath gets caught in my throat. "You're my dad." The ice cream parlor door chimes behind me. I look back and see Vivian walking out with Imogen and her 3 scoops of cookies and creme. Their eyes eventually find me, and their bodies go stiff when they see I'm talking to a stranger. I turn back to John and say, have to go, before returning to the girls and hurrying them down the boardwalk. He looked like the school picture. That man was the guy whose face I pet with my finger. That man was my father, and he knew my name. Why does he know my name? Adam is in his office. I hear his voice and 2 others as I make my way down the hall. The double doors are open, and when I appear between them, Adam's eyes immediately find mine. It's Ben and Alexander. I know I must be interrupting pack business, but there is no one else I want to talk to but him. "Wrenley?" Adam asks. "Can we talk?" He nods slowly and leaves his seat. Ben and Alexander both smile my way. I smile back and lift my hand up in a partial wave. Adam's hand connects with the small of my back as he leads me into the family room. Before he can ask what's going on, I turn to him and say, "My dad is here. I met him today." "Your father?" he questions. "I thought you didn't know your father. My mom told me a few days ago that my dad is her old high school boyfriend. His picture is in her yearbook. We were at the boardwalk and he was there. He said he moved back last week. He knew my name. My mom said he doesn't know I exist. He asked me if I'm Wrenley, if I'm Rachel's daughter." Adam sits down with me, seeing how unsettled this has made me. "Do you think my mother lied? Did he actually know I exist all along?" "This is a lot to process. Why don't you go lay down? When I'm done here, I can take you over to your grandmother's. Your mother is the only one that can answer your questions." I take Adam's advice. The silence of the master bedroom should give me plenty of space to splay out my thoughts, but instead of picking them up one by one, instead of organizing them in the little folders of my mind, I fall into them. I try to climb out, but they've started to devour me like a bed of quicksand. Why is he here? Why does he recognize me? Why does he know my name? Did my mother lie? Have been in contact? In an attempt to sedate myself, I walk into the closet and snatch one of Adam's shirts. I breathe it in like a crazy person, then proceed to his side of the bed. His pillow holds his essence, and I rest my head on it with his shirt still pressed against my chest like a baby blanket. Why can't Ben and Alexander just leave already so I can be alone with Adam? I much rather hold his body against mine than squeeze every last drop of him out of some shirt. I feel restless. Unable to lay down any longer, I jolt up and pace around the room. My mind has jumped from the issue of John Amon to the addictive nature of my mate. I wish he was here right now. I feel like I can't wait another minute for him to come find me. Adam is the perfect distraction to this whole mess. If I'm with him, then I don't have to worry about John Amon. It's like nothing else exists. I hear his footsteps coming up the stairs. My heart is shocked to life and races inside of my chest so fast and so loud that I'm sure he can hear it from the hall. I come to the doorway just as he enters. Before he can say anything, I bring my hands to either side of his face and one strays behind his ear and combs into his hair. That took forever, I breathe out. Hey, I thought you were relaxing? He says and gently brings my arms down. Right. I decided what I want to do. Let's not go to see my mother. Let's stay here together. What about your father? He asks. Don't you want answers? I roll my lips together. I don't need to know right now. It can wait. All I want right now is to be here with you. Where is all of this coming from? I take steps backward until the end of the brushes against the back of my thighs. What do you mean? Is it so wrong to want to be alone together? God, after those days apart, I missed you so much. Adam nears me. When you came to find me, you were concerned about meeting your father. We can always have time together, but I think you need to figure this out first before it eats away at you. I hate that he knows me. I brush it off and say, I was a little concerned, I know. It just freaked me out, but I'm fine now. I laid down for a bit and realized that it's not that big of a deal. My mom will be there tomorrow. I don't think my dad is going anywhere, so can't we just have this moment? I don't want to think about it anymore. You want to avoid your problems? Adam murmurs as he now stands before me. Help me, I plead. Help me avoid my problems. Adam sighs. He looks past me at the bed. What happened there? I glance back at the sight of jumbled blankets and a balled-up shirt. You were taking too long. I missed you. I was just downstairs. You can't criticize me for that, I say. And you can't hold it against me either like you do with the other things I said. Just distract me, please. My hands run up his arms, feeling the firmness and curve of muscle. His eyes watch me, my face. I step closer as his hand lifts to my cheek. His palm follows my jaw and I lean against it. Wrenley, he says almost like a warning. We can be gentle, slow, nothing crazy is going to happen. Adam's touch strays, so I grab onto his shoulders, lean up, and bring my lips softly to his. I linger for a moment before pulling back. See? Nothing crazy. His eyes stay fixated on my mouth. He guides me back to him, and before I know it, our lips are connected once again. The care of his movements makes me melt in his arms, and I feel as if we are savoring the moment instead of fearing its end. This is the most patient we've been with one another. For once, I can really feel him touch me. Every spark and wave of our bond travels throughout my body. Adam breaks our kiss but stays painfully close. He studies my face, and I make no effort to hide the longing in my eyes or the color on my cheeks. It's not enough anymore to kiss him every now and then. I don't think it ever was. A part of me, though anxious toward intimacy, has always been unsatisfied, and it is only getting more difficult to keep my innermost desires at bay. We share a bed. I lay in his arms. I would be lying if I said my mind didn't wander at such times. Adam must see it now as I gaze up at him, the yearning for more. We don't have to stop, I say just above a whisper. This isn't going to make your problem go away. I don't care, I murmur. It isn't about that. He takes a breath and glances up for a second as if he must ground himself. I admit, I want more. We've been taking things slow for what feels like forever. This is what you asked for, Adam reminds me. I know, I really do know, but I've changed my mind. This is just too slow. Then tell me what you want, Wrenley. My eyes dart to the side and my bottom lip runs through my teeth. Something has changed. It's as if the energy in my body has been amped up a tad, as if fears that once nested in my core have faded. I felt it after I saw John Amon. I can't explain why, but I feel different. I want everything, I tell him with more confidence than expected. I want everything. He scans me over. What happened? What do you mean? What did you do? Adam asks. The concern in his voice shifts the mood. Nothing. Why are you? Stop looking at me like that. I thought you'd respond differently, considering. He shakes his head. Something isn't right. You're acting differently. I knew it the second I came up here. I'm acting differently because I feel good, and it isn't a crime to change my mind about something. You just met your father for the first time, and from the sound of it, it didn't play out well. The Wrenley I know wouldn't feel good right now. You lied when you said it wasn't a big deal, so why don't you tell me what's really going on? I tilt my head a little, not understanding why Adam must question me. Isn't this what you wanted? Everything all at once? No holding back? Wrenley? Fine. I don't know, I confess. I don't know what's going on, but can't we take advantage of the moment? What if this feeling goes away and I'm scared again and I just lay there beside you forever? Adam sighs. I know before I made it seem otherwise, but there's no rush. I know, I lay there and there's so much that I want, but I'm too scared, too anxious to do anything about it. I don't feel the anxiety right now. I feel secure. I don't think you're going to judge me or hurt me or... But other times you do. I've upset him. It wasn't necessarily the right thing to say, but it's the truth. It's not because of you. It's me. I bring myself to worry about such things, even if I know you wouldn't. That's why I feel better. I'm not worrying about it. I feel free. He turns away, so I grab onto him. Adam, please. You really think those things? He asks slowly. Not anymore. His eyes stare heavily into mine. And when your normal self comes back, when whatever you're feeling fades, what then? Please. You can't be mad at me for things I can't control. Everyone feels this way. Everyone is scared of getting hurt. I loosen my grip, yet he stays. Please don't go back to thinking that I'm scared of you because I'm not. I'm scared of the control you have over me. I'm scared of the things I would do for you, the things I dream about because of you. I take my hand from him completely. He's thinking. I can see it on his face. The last thing I want is to bring him to the wrong conclusion, so instead of pushing the situation more, I decide to cool down. My mindset is not compatible with an argument. We've had enough of those already anyway. I'll go talk to my mother. Stay here. When I come back, after we've had a breather, we can talk about the worries I have. I want to work through them. We can work through them. Okay? Adam, with his brooding eyes and pretty face, nods. I walk down the road with my hands warm in my jacket pockets. Sunlight filters through the forest beside me, bringing a kiss of heat to my face in the cold air around me. The cold doesn't feel so cold anymore, only a sensation that neither pleasures nor hurts me. I'm sure if it were snowing, I'd feel differently, but right now I am content. It reminds me of when I would wake up in the middle of the night, hungry. The chill from the fridge would caress me as I stood with the doors wide open. I would look over the same foods until my snack standards lowered. My problems used to be much simpler then: disappointment over the fact that my mother ate the last piece of that evening's dessert, or maybe, at the most stressful, a poor test score in one of my classes. The quiet helps me as I try to sort through my thoughts once again. Every now and then, a car will pass by, or a noise will call from the trees, but other than that, I'm alone. Privacy is one of Waindale's redeeming qualities. If I want to take a walk by myself, I can. There aren't people everywhere. I can feel isolated out in the open if I desire. I stop suddenly along the two-way street that slices through the dense woods like a knife. I glance behind me, then to the side, then to the other side. When my eyes aim forward, there's a man. Not just any man, John Amon. Questioning my sanity, I stay put. My hands grip the fabric inside my pockets and my lips stay parted. I watch as he takes the few steps necessary until he's standing right in front of me. He's wearing a large jacket and hiking boots, as if he's been out here for a while and didn't simply teleport to my location. I wait in utter shock for him to either speak or vanish. Wrenley, he says then, solidifying his presence. I don't mean to scare you. A breath flows into my lungs, then back out. My mouth remains still. We need to talk. We didn't have the time to earlier, but I don't think this can wait much longer. I blink hard. How are you here? Where did you come from? John Amon, with a genuine look on his timeless face, says, I can explain everything if you let me. You've been in contact with my mom? I ask, because it's the only way he could know the things he knows. No, I haven't. Again, I can explain everything. My warm hands lift to my face, making me realize how cold I am as my frigid cheeks surprise me. My hands wipe down suddenly. What do you want? Why are you here? How do you know how I am? He sighs. The diner is just down the street. Can we talk there? I walk just in front of him the few minutes it takes to reach the intersection where the diner is. In my mind, I'm trying to decide what I want to know first, but part of me is curious to know what he has to say without my prompting. Once inside, we sit toward the back at a booth against the windows. I shimmy out of my winter jacket and stuff it into the space between me and the wall. Maybe I would be more nervous if I had known of my father for more than a day. I'm grateful for my calmness, though. Laura greets me warmly. John watches the interaction but doesn't question how I know the waitress. I order a hot chocolate and my father asks for a coffee. When Laura leaves, we face each other. Before I can ask anything, he begins talking. I haven't spoken to your mother since the night we made you, he says. I know this is confusing, but your knowledge of the world should make this easier to accept. As you grew up, I would check in on you every now and then from afar. You never saw me and neither did your mother. I wasn't there to interrupt, only to see that you were doing well. My fingers intertwine on the table. You stalked us? I can see how it appears rather odd from your perspective, but I couldn't step forward, not until now, not until you're old enough to understand. Is that why you moved to Waindale? To meet me? I ask, keeping my composure even though my insides are being torn apart. You're here now because I'm not a kid anymore. You don't have to take care of me? Laura sets down our mugs. I wipe my face clear of distress to thank her. John Amon continues once she's busy with another table. I came here for you, that's true, but not because all the work is already done. It's the opposite, actually. It was your mother's job to raise you, but now it is my turn to teach you the things your mother cannot. She knows about this? He takes a sip of coffee, then shakes his head as he swallows. You know that your mother is unaware of the things beyond herself. Well, most things, I suppose. A breath gets caught in my throat and my heart drops. Are you one of them? No, I do not transform into a wolf. This is why I'm here, Wrenley, to teach you of all the things you have yet to discover. We are different than everything else. Different? How? I'm on the edge of my seat. My body shakes with anticipation and shock and excitement, and so many other things that I can't decipher. I feel like I'm dreaming, like I fell asleep on the bed while I waited for Adam and never really woke up. John Amon takes a breath. There are many things you have yet to learn. There is more than humans and shifters. I am one of the other things, and I am the only one of my kind. That is until I decided to create you. He takes another sip of coffee, which irritates me, because instead of drinking, he could be speaking. I'm not sure whether I believe John Amon or not, but either way, his story is incredibly intriguing. I arrived when inhabitants of this planet started following deities, which is quite a coincidence. I arrived through something of a meteorite as it came crashing to Earth. My brow furrows and I sit back. What the hell, I mumble. Did Adam not tell you of celestial beings? Adam? How do you know? He says briefly, I know everything. My chest rises and falls slowly. So you're telling me that you aren't from this planet? You weren't born here? And you happen to be thousands of years old? To make a long story short, I suppose. A murmur leaves my lips concerning my gullibility. I look back at him and question, you really think you can tell me all of this crap like I'm 7 years old? You can't win me over with this nonsense. Did you have a similar reaction when finding out about the shifters? He asks, undisturbed. The unbelievable remains that way until it isn't. Yes, I doubted them. Being able to transform like they do, it's crazy, but this is a whole other level of insane. What you're telling me? I could never believe you. There is no way you are some celestial being or whatever. Your mate and his kind, they believe in the moon goddess, John says, drifting off topic. If told that the moon goddess is real, would you believe it? My forearms rest against the table as my hands wrap around the mug of hot chocolate that isn't very hot. I don't know. Maybe. She is real. She gifts the shifters their ability. The shifters are her creation. Beginning to feel far too overwhelmed, I lift the drink to my lips and focus on the taste, rather than his words. You see, Wrenley, the moon goddess is aware of you, as she is of me. She is always aware of what you are doing. When I came to Earth, I threatened her creations. I threatened many forms of life on this planet, and I still do. The beings beyond you, beyond me, even one such as the moon goddess, they try to contain us. They try to control us because we threaten all they have created. I've come to you now because you are old enough to understand. That is true. But I come with increased urgency because you are being contained by them, by her. I can't Bel. His face has morphed into one of distress and torment. I nervously eye the people around the diner to make sure we have not caught any unwanted attention. It is Adam. She mated you to one of her own because it gives her a sense of control over you. You're vulnerable, susceptible to her power when restrained from your highest potential, which I am guilty of doing. John, please, I breathe. I don't want to hear any more of this. No, you must listen, he insists. I am here now because it is time to release you of my hold. When you were born, I restrained you from your power to protect you as you grew amongst the humans. I don't believe you, I say, louder than expected. A few eyes glance over, but I shoo them by collecting myself. None of this. I don't believe any of it. I'm done listening to your stories. I came here to find out why you're here and how you know me. That is all. Please, just tell me the truth. John Amon rests back against the booth seat, and his fists on the table clench. Perhaps you are not yet wise enough. You do not know enough. Your mind has been contaminated with the human's limited beliefs. Tell me, what can I do? I have been waiting for this moment to come and feared your failure, but please, prove me wrong. His hands reach over and take my own in them. A bizarre sensation infects my hands and spreads up my arms. You are my only child. Too much depends on you. Going out on a limb with little to lose, I say, prove it. You can tell me anything, but I can't believe it until you... Do you feel different, stronger? He asks. I loosen my hold on you to make this conversation easier. Do you feel your potential? I try to take my hands back, but his grip is tight. That was you? You caused me to feel different? I can prove myself, Wrenley, but you have the capability to prove everything on your own. My blood runs through your veins. Your mother is a human. I decided that because it contaminates my blood the least. You'll age and die as a human does. That I cannot change, but I passed great power to you. But I don't have power. I'm a human. You have been restrained since birth. I had given you the slightest bit of your power earlier. Focus. Listen to what I am telling you, he urges. If I free you, you'll be at your full potential. Without thinking, I say, free me. If all you're saying is true, free me. He lets go of my hands then. I will. Not all at once, because To free you at once may kill you, but I will slowly return more and more of your power once you can handle the current amount. How much do I have now? I ask, oblivious to all other things. Are you able to withstand more? I nod. Will you give me more? Will this prove all you have said? John's eyes close then. I stare at him as my heart thumps heavily in my chest. My palms grow sweaty, then I feel it. It feels like a million little needles poking into the skin on my fingertips. I flinch and ball my hands into fists. The sensation subsides, and when I peer up, John Amon is looking at me. His silver eyes bore into my own. I felt it, I say softly. I felt it in my hands. He looks at me like a father who just taught their child how to walk. What can I do? I ask, my eyes bright. He leaves money on the table, then takes me outside. When I shrug on my jacket, he shakes his head. You won't need it, he says, but wear it so others don't question you. The cold, the heat, you won't succumb to it. A single airy laugh escapes my lips. I won't get cold. That's just like Adam. He doesn't get cold. Melt the snow, he says and motions to the side of the parking lot where a rim of ice sits against the curb from last night. What? Go on. I walk over to the curb, then turn back to him. How? What do I do? John Amon, who's pleased with my curiosity, says, You know how. I face the ice and crouch down. My instincts tell me to touch it, so I reach my hand out, but before my finger comes into contact, the ice melts away from me. I open my hand and aim my palm at it, and it melts more as I move. More laughs leave me. I spring to my feet and spin around with an expression of pure wonder. The first thing that comes to my mind is Adam and how desperately I want to show him. I can't believe it. I call to my father and hurry back. There's no way this is happening. There's no way that this is real life. I'm dreaming, aren't I? This has to be a dream. I watch as he bends down and picks up a brown leaf from the cement. He takes my hand, opens it, then places the dead thing on it. This is your most powerful gift, he says. Restore it. I place my other hand on top. Think of your intention and make it so. My desire to bring this leaf back to its green, fleshy glory fills my mind. It doesn't hurt. It isn't hard. I feel the leaf move against my hands, and when I open them, there is a leaf so pristine that it appears to have fallen from a branch only seconds ago. A smile engulfs my face, and I jump in my spot. It's real, I murmur. All of it is real. All that you said. What does this mean? What's going to happen? My father says, enjoy, discover, become comfortable with what I have given to you until you are able to accept more. I must warn you that there is responsibility that will be coming, but for now, prepare yourself. And I must ask that you do not approach your mother with any of this. She must not know. What you have told her is already too much. For her own good, I ask. He nods. It's best if you keep this to yourself. Oh, I breathe. What about Adam? Are you able to restrain yourself? I know the moon goddess has given you no choice when it comes to Adam, but you shouldn't trust anyone. I swallow and put my magic hands back in my pockets. Well, if I'm honest, I don't think I can. I can't help it. He seems upset by this, but not at me. Our entire conversation hasn't settled yet. I'm still convinced that I'll wake in Adam's bed any moment now because I'm having a hard time remembering everything my father told me. There was something about the moon goddess containing me. Perhaps he's upset with her. I wonder if she'll be mad at me. I wonder if what I have done is the workings of evil things as Imogen once warned me about. What if my father is evil in their eyes? What if I am too? I struggle to recall all that was said to me as I hurry home. There's no time to see my mother, not after what John Amon showed me. Surprisingly, my mind feels clear, yet I try to remember certain things he told me. Things that I know were important but didn't seem to stick. The only thing that's in my head like a blinking neon sign is that I am able to tell Adam. God, I can't wait to show him. I can't wait to see his reaction. I know he'll be happy because I won't be a sitting duck for all the world's monsters to devour. The truth is that I am not just a human, I'm the daughter of something magical, something so very beyond my previous understanding. When Adam said that there are things out there that could hurt me, I thought of vampires and witches and trolls and ghosts. But this... John Amon hardly explained what he is. When Adam asks me, what will I say? That he is a celestial being? It makes him sound holy, like an angel. I wish I asked for clarity before heading back. My father said we will talk again soon. I know that in the time until our next meeting, I must get used to the abilities he's restored to me. My own powers, I feel like a superhero. The smile that took over my face outside of the diner hasn't left. I'll tell Adam that I don't know any specifics yet. There's so much to learn, and I hope the next time we speak lasts for hours and hours. I could listen to him tell me about all the world's mysteries, about what we are, for the rest of my life. All of this still feels like a dream. Other than my excitement to get home, the only other thing going through my head are prayers that I don't wake up. If none of this is real, I'll be beyond devastated. When the house comes into view, I start to run. I rush down the road and onto the property. My hair picks up and brushes against my shoulders, floats in the crisp wind as the winter's fingers stroke my neck. I'm up the porch steps in less than a second. The door is unlocked, and I slip through it with red cheeks. Adam, I call. I venture into the house, following his scent to the kitchen. My feet hardly touch the floor. Energy courses through my body, energy and life that I've never felt before. I grab the archway to the kitchen before flying past. Adam is there. He swallows a bite of something from the fridge, closes the metal door, and says, "It sounds like your talk went well. You have no idea." I breathe and come to him. Oh God, where do I begin? I have so much to tell you. Your mother had answers to your questions then? I pause. No, I didn't see her. Well, I was on my way to see her, and then my father showed up. We went to the diner, we talked, and he explained everything himself. Adam crosses his arms and leans against the counter. Your father? How did he find you? I can hardly contain myself. My smile returns and my feet threaten to dance in every direction. I grab onto the counter, all to stop myself from jumping up and down. What's going on? He asks. You won't believe me, I gush. It's too perfect. I can't even believe it. I've been trying to convince myself that I'm awake and not dreaming. Adam seems concerned. He asks, What did he tell you, Wrenley? I can show you, I say with confidence. Just watch. He taught me this. Adam watches as I place my hand under the water dispenser on the fridge door. An ice cube drops to my hand and I hold out my palm for him to see. Okay, I murmur. Watch the ice cube. His chest rises as the ice cube melts rapidly in my hand. I shake the water off into the sink, then face him with utter glee. Did you see that? I cheer. I can melt things, I can make brown leaves green again. I'm sure I can freeze things if I tried. He remains speechless. Isn't it amazing, Adam? His eyes find mine, but the severity behind them makes my chest tighten. This man, he taught you this? This man? He's my father, not just some man. Did he tell you what he is? Adam asks, not wasting a moment to enjoy my newfound abilities. And you're sure he is your father? My face falls. Of course I'm sure. How else could I do any of this? What is he, Wrenley? Did he tell you? Well, he said he's a celestial being, I explain, disappointed that he isn't excited like I am. That's all I know. I don't really know what it means, but he said that we'll talk again in a... Adam turns, placing his hands flat on the counter as if he's planning an attack over a map during war. His muscles tense, and I wonder about my previous thoughts. What if he thinks I'm evil? What if what my father can do, what I am learning, is the power of dangerous, dark things to his kind? You cannot speak to him anymore, Adam says bluntly. You cannot see him. What? He peers at me. Promise me. Stepping back, I say, I can't promise that. He's my father. He said he has so much to teach me. There's so much I'm going to learn from him, about who I really am, what I really am. This man, he's dangerous, Wrenley. I thought you might think so, I say, ready to change his mind. He really isn't. He's here to restore the power he's kept from me since birth. I'm his only child. He said I'm important to him. This power, it isn't what you think it is. How would you know? We're the only two people on Earth with it, and it's mine no matter what it is. Why can't you just be happy? I'm not helpless anymore. I'm strong and I can do these amazing things. I thought you would be happy. Adam turns to me. It is stunning, Wrenley, extraordinary. But such things shouldn't be possible. I fear that this man, your father, isn't as he appears to be. I've heard of such things from thousands of years ago, but those ideas have gone extinct. Your father. You think he's evil, I mutter. Imogen told me about turning humans into your kind, how it's the workings of very dark things. She said that such capabilities would be from an evil power. You think he's like that, don't you? Adam's gaze trickles down. You said you can make dead leaves green again. I did. I did it in my hands. You can't. You can't do that anymore, understand? My lips part. My hands drop to my sides. That isn't fair. I don't tell you whether you can transform or not. It isn't the same, he says, his voice deep. You can't bring dead things back to life. It's wrong. You mean it's evil, I correct him. You think what I can do is evil. You think I'm evil. Adam grabs onto me. His hands hold either of my arms. You are not evil, Wrenley. He says it as if he must convince himself that these words are true and not me. I yank free. I know I'm not evil. I just hate the fact that your kind thinks I am. It's unfair that you can stand there and say those things about my father when being a werewolf isn't exactly the image of virtue. How can you judge us based on some old beliefs? You've known the man for a day. He has yet to tell you what exactly he is. How can you trust him so blindly? Pressure builds in my throat from the surfeit of words desperate to spill out. I wish I was angry, but all I feel is pain. His judgment feels like rejection, like a saw being dragged back and forth to cut our bond. There is so much I want to say, but to carry on this conversation will only sharpen the blade. Please just stop, I mutter. Adam falls silent. His shoulders drop and his jaw clenches. Whatever you say about him applies to me. Whatever he is, I am too, so just stop. I wasn't enough as a human, but now that I'm stronger, I'm too much. It just feels like a slap in the face at this point. Before he can speak, I say, Don't. I don't want to hear anymore. I just thought you would accept me for who I am as I did for you because everything is mutual, right? If I'm willing to love you as you are, you should be willing to do the same for me. It's not you, Wrenley. It's your father, he dramatizes. I am what he is, I nearly shout. You weren't like this. He's done this to you. I step closer as I shake my head. This part of me has always been here. He just kept it from me to keep me safe. This is who I am. Don't tell me that this is who you are. Adam's voice rises with mine. A man you met today told you all of this not even an hour ago. You don't even know what it is that you're claiming to be. This morning you were yourself, but now I don't know what's overcome you. I don't know what he's done to you. What you showed me, what you described, these are powers that originate from malevolence. Don't say that, I plead. That's only what you've been told. Did your father tell you that his abilities come from goodness? Or maybe something neutral? These things are gifted. Did he tell you the source? What if there is no source? He wasn't born here. He came here. Adam watches me carefully, my chest ready to burst. Then his presence on Earth alarms me, he says. I'm sorry, I can't stay long. I've just come to grab a few things. Are you sure it's a good idea to stay with Adam longer? Things were a little bumpy there, Wren. Maybe a break will be good for you too. I look up from my bag. Mom, I said that was just a little argument. We're doing great now. I really think I should be with him right now. It's werewolf business. It's hard to explain. He needs me right now. I assure her, then stuff one last shirt into my suitcase before zipping it up. Tell Grandma that I'll call later. Adam, he just really needs me there with him. She nods, leaning against the doorway to my bedroom. Okay, no problem, as long as you're going to school. I can see the anxiety behind her eyes. She doesn't like the fact that I'm already spending so much time away from home. I wish I could tell her that John Amon is here. I wish I could show her what I am, but if Adam is right, if I can't trust my father, then I don't want her to be a part of it. It upsets me to have Adam view my father as a threat. I can't trust both of them. And if I have to pick a side, I'll choose Adam every time. It's coded into my blood to choose my mate, even if said blood comes from my father's veins. John Amon said it himself, when concerning my mate, the moon goddess has given me no choice. I wonder about his warning of her control over me. I can't decide if it is good or bad. You have everything you need? My mom asks, and I nod. Okay, well, do you know when you'll be staying here next? Probably next week. I'll let you know when I call. He's waiting for me. I better go. She follows me out of my bedroom and through the kitchen. You know he didn't have to stay in the car. Adam can come in. I know. I told him to wait out there. I thought if Grandma was home that she'd reel him in and never let us leave. I explain lightly. We get to the front door, so I place my bag down to hug her. I'll talk to you later. Okay, kid. You know where we are if you need us, she murmurs by my ear. I pull away, pick up my bag, then head out. She watches me hurry through the cold to the truck, unaware of how the cold doesn't hurt me anymore. I quickly toss my bag in the back, then climb into the front. I wave through the glass and she waves back. My eyes stay fixated on her until Adam drives off and turns the corner. She's wiped from my vision, but her worried face lingers in my mind as we travel down the road and past hundreds of trees. It was better to keep things short. I would have cracked if I stayed a second longer. Are you okay? Yeah, I mumble, peering to Adam. I just wish I could tell her. Don't worry, I know it's for the best. Wrenley, he says, eyes on the road. I know this is supposed to be an exciting time for you. The last thing I want is to ruin your moment, but I hope you can consider the reasons behind my decision. It will be you. Adam glances at me, silently questioning. It will always be you. Even if he takes back my power, I will always choose you over anyone else. I swallow my feelings and say, it hurts me to think of my father as something dark, but it would hurt me more to choose him over you. Adam extends his hand out. I take it between both of mine and hold tightly as if we're about to drive off a cliff. I set our hands on my lap and keep them there. I'm sorry I upset you earlier, he says. I know you're just worried about me. I don't want to hurt you anymore. Adam continues. Every time I try to keep you safe, it seems to accomplish the opposite. I just don't know what to do. I keep my gaze on his hand as it remains in my possession. A few hairs slip free from behind my ears. It's not you directly. It's the situation. It's everything, I mutter. But, all I can do is hope it turns out okay. Hope that my father is good. Next time he comes, I'll be there, Adam assures me. What if? If your suspicions are right, if he's not good, promise me you won't hate me. His eyes find mine once again. Don't say that, he says. You have to promise me. Even if he's not good and if his intentions are bad, you can't hate me. My grip on his hand grows stronger. Adam says, I could never hate you, and my heart settles a bit. Even if I'm something evil? Adam suddenly pulls to the side of the road. The trees are so close now that I can nearly touch them if I reach my hand out the window. I want to ask what he's doing, but before I can, Adam puts on the brakes and looks directly at me. You are not evil, understand? He asks, giving me no place to hide. Do you understand? My lip quivers as I force my gaze forward. I'll try to. His free hand lifts to my chin and gently brings my eyes back to him. The soft hum of the engine is all I hear as he looks at me. I wish I could tell him that I understand. I want to believe that there is no chance that darkness is rooted deep inside of me, but I can't help it. John Amon, whatever he is a part of me. The confidence that I had in my father before is dwindling. The longer I am with Adam, the more I trust what he is saying. Just because you are his child does not mean you must follow his footsteps. You are not just his daughter, Wrenley. You are also your mother's daughter. I nod and say, okay. The sun is beginning to set when we arrive back home. Adam brings up dinner, but I wave it off and head upstairs with my bag to put things away. I didn't notice that all I've had to eat today was toast in the morning and 2 hot chocolates. With everything going on, I've forgotten that my basic needs still have to be met. I have to eat and do homework and call Vivienne as I promised. When I left her and the others at Barb's, she noticed something was bothering me and made me promise to talk later. What should I tell her? That my long-lost father has returned and revealed that I am half of whatever it is that he is? That Adam is worried his miracle-like abilities come from no one? I know what he's thinking. My father did not get his power from anyone, so he must have got it from something. Adam said that the moon goddess gets her power from the moon, a sun god from the sun, a water god from water, and so on. This made me nervous. Adam questioned whether his story about coming to Earth as he did is true or not. My father could have lied to me when he said he came through a meteorite. If I believe that he has no ties to the world that I know, then I can't question the source of his power. I can't question what he is. All John Amon has to tell me is that he is a celestial being from somewhere far away. I pick up my phone and decide to keep this dilemma between Adam and I. When she asks what was wrong earlier, I tell her that I wasn't feeling well. Are you at Adam's now? She asks. Is he taking care of you? I sit down on the edge of the bed beside my empty bag. Yeah, I'm just taking it easy. I'm sure I'll feel fine tomorrow. Sorry to leave early. I know we were supposed to spend the day with everyone. Don't worry about it. Imogen and I will see you at school Monday, and we can always get together with Eli and Alara after school or next weekend. We chat for a bit longer. Adam eventually comes upstairs, so I wind down the conversation and tell her I'll see her Monday. When I hang up, I store my suitcase in the closet, then grab some clothes to wear to bed. I drop the pile on the duvet before laying down. My eyes stare at the clothes, daring me to get up and change. Adam stands in the open doorway to the bathroom. As he watches me, he asks, "Are you sure you're not hungry?" "I'm sure," I murmur, my head resting on the bend of my elbow. "A lot happened today. You need some rest. Do you want me to stay, or do you mind if I work downstairs for a bit?" I lift up and face him. "I'll be fine. Go ahead." Adam leaves, so I change and get comfortable in bed. The only light shines in dimly from the hall, and the darkness pools around me. I want to sleep, but I don't feel the need to. My limbs aren't heavy, my eyes aren't dry. I just want to be at peace for a while. I want to sleep and not think about anything. I lay here sleeplessly, and it reminds me of how my nights would be when Adam and I are apart. I shift and roll and turn and groan, but nothing seems to help. It's not my body denying to function. I am simply not tired. A little later, Adam returns and I pretend to be asleep. He climbs into bed and asks, "Why are you still awake?" I move to him and get in my usual sleeping position since he's aware. "I'll fall asleep now," I say quietly. I always fall asleep when Adam is here. He's asleep in a matter of minutes. I sigh and peer up at his relaxed face. Maybe it's because I haven't eaten. Sneaking out of bed, I tiptoe down the stairs. I stand in front of the open fridge, but frown when the cool air doesn't feel the same. My stomach is still. There's no rumbling or aching signaling me to eat. My eyes wash over the array of things inside the fridge anyway, but when nothing interests me, I close the door and wander around the counter island. There's a large bay window over the sink. I lean and look through the glass into the night. The moon rests above the trees in the distance like a single eye watching over me, and the moonlight reflects something white in the frosted grass below. I squint to get a better look. The small white thing shuffles across the landscape until it stops and lifts its head. It's a rabbit. Its red eye catches me off guard. I step away from the counter, holding my breath. The rabbit continues on until it's out of sight. There are back doors in the hall that lead outside. It has large windows and dark handles, and I unlock them to venture into the night. There's a small porch with a bench, an empty flower pot. The porch steps lead straight into a sparse patch of grass like stone steps that descend directly into the ocean. My eyes bounce around for the rabbit, even though I know I am out here for other reasons. My breath smokes into the air. When I take steps, the grass beneath my feet defrosts. I walk across the field, making my way to the trees. It's nice to be out at night and feel no fear that something will steal me away. Although I don't know exactly what to do to protect myself, there's a confidence inside me that's telling me I am the strongest thing out here. No rogue could scare me away. My hands brush against the bark of each tree I pass. The forest is stagnant and cold and lifeless like winter itself. I don't remember laying down or falling asleep, but I wake in sunlight with a wolf before me. It's Adam. I lift up. His yellow eyes watch me as his transformed body breathes heavily. Soon I notice the plethora of plants and blooming flowers that have sprung from the frozen ground like an angel has kisses this one spot. The exotic greenery surrounds my bed and reaches its limbs out to me, as if the earth is trying to reclaim what belongs to it. They were poison, the plants that grew as if I beckoned them to. Some could be found on this continent, others originate in faraway places. Adam told me that he woke alone, then couldn't find me anywhere in the house, but discovered that the back doors were unlocked. He shifted and followed my scent, as if something stole me from our bed. He found me laying on the forest floor in a circle of belladonna, deathcaps, oleander, hemlock, and many other plants he did not recognize. A vine of poison oak had begun to wrap its way up my leg. It left no rash on my skin. "Wrenley?" "Sorry," I mumble and look up at Vivian and Imogen. I can't stop daydreaming. "I asked about Adam being here," Vivian repeats. "People say he's been here since this morning." "Yeah, I came with him. He said he has things to do here, I don't know. Is he here all day?" I nod and rest my arms on the lunch table. "I think so." "You look a little tired," Imogen says. "I didn't sleep last night." Vivian's eyes widen. "At all?" she questions, placing down her sandwich. "What? Why?" "I don't know, Is everything okay between you two?" Yeah, we're fine. I think it's because I'm getting sick like I told you. I was tossing and turning all night." "That's a lie." I sat up against the headboard as Adam slept. I restrained myself from leaving the room just in case he woke up. The entire night I sat there and only got out of bed to use the restroom, but my thoughts kept me busy. I have at least 3 fully developed ideas about what my father is and his purpose for being here, his purpose for having me. In the first one, he's a good creature with good intentions. In the second, he's evil, and his powers come from something dark. The third got cut short as the sun began to rise. But to sum it up, he really is from somewhere far away. I couldn't provide a solid purpose for his creating me, though. "Ben, hi," Vivian calls. Again, I tear myself from my head and notice Ben as he makes his way over. Vivian scoots to make room for him. "What are you doing here? Both you and Adam, is something wrong?" she asks. "No, everything is fine," he says, then looks to me. "I just heard that Adam was here. He didn't tell me that he was going to be at the academy, so I thought I would check in. I wonder if he knows. I wonder what Adam told him." Suddenly, another presence comes out of nowhere. Penny shoots to the end of our table like a magnet. "Hi, Wren," she says all too casually. "Can I see your notes real quick? Devin said I missed something when I, got called to the—" "Sure," I cut her off and wave her over. She sparks with life and comes to my free side. "Oh, Ben, this is my friend Penny." Imogen and Vivian both look at me. I pull out my notes, open to a random page, and drop them to the table, even though I know Penny won't even glance at them. Somehow, the girl manages to carry a conversation with Ben, and as she leans over me, Vivienne kicks my shin under the table. She mouths, "Friends with Penny?" I shrug. "Well, thanks, Wren," she says after a minute or two of talking. "Mind if I get these back to you later?" "Sure, go ahead," I say, and she takes the notebook and holds it to her chest. "It was nice meeting you, Ben." Penny blushes and skips off to wherever she came from. After my last class, I meet Adam at the front office. We walk to the truck and he drives us home. With my head against the seat and eyes aimed out the window, I say, "Don't waste your time like this. You have too much going on to be at the academy all day with me." "I got things done," he argues. "Ben and I worked out of an empty classroom. Don't worry, Wrenley. I just want to be there when he reaches out to you again." I do my homework at the breakfast nook in the kitchen. My papers and pencil and notebook are all laid out for me to begin, but I'm distracted. My gaze is captured by the outside. I rest my head against my palm and stare out the window. I want to return to my ring of deadly foliage and see if it is all still there, sprouting like we're in the midst of spring. There's an orange resting against my glass of water. I take it and peel it and eat it, preserving the seeds. As Adam discusses with Alexander down the hall, I slip out the back doors with a few good seeds cradled in my hand. I stay close to the house and dig a small hole in the center of the field, my fingers prying at the solid earth. I drop the seeds in and cover it back up. Now, if I have the power to sprout an orange tree in December, then maybe there is good in my abilities. "Wrenley," Adam calls from the back porch. "What are you doing?" I dust off my hands and hurry to him. That night, it begins to snow. I glance out one of the windows in the bedroom after I change into my pajamas. All that is out there is an empty field with a building blanket of snow on top of it. I stand at the window a bit longer to watch the snowflakes tumble through the air. Adam sits on the bed against the headboard, reading a very old-looking book. I leave the window and climb onto the bed. I cling to his side and he closes the book, marking the page before setting it down on the bedside table. "What is that?" I ask. "It was in the office, was my grandfather's. It's a book about deities, worshipping witchcraft even," he explains. "I was looking through it to see if there's anything about your father's abilities or the flowers or anything." I push myself up. "What if you're right? What if he's a god of something?" "Well, we want to find out what exactly he's the god of, what exactly he gets his power from. If it's from something evil, then he can take my powers back. I don't want them if that's the case. I rather go back to being useless." Adam sighs. "You were never useless. But no matter what, this is about him, not you. You can't help what you are." I lift his arm up and settle against him. Adam kisses the top of my head, causing my heart to jolt. As I rest against him, as he softly breathes beneath me, I mumble, "I feel like I know what's going to happen. I've had a lot of time to think lately, and I want to tell you my thoughts, but I don't want to upset you." "I don't like when you think like that," he says. "I just want to make sure that no matter what happens, you'll be okay, and my family too." Adam looks down at me. Before he can protest, I say, I know. You don't like when I talk like this. I'm sorry." He looks at me for a moment longer, then says, "You need to get some sleep. We have to be up early to get to the academy." The light from the lamp is warm, almost like a fire. I ignore Adam's words, and instead of letting us settle down, I sit up. I know what I want to do, and without my anxiety holding me back, I place both my hands on either side of his face. Adam lets me move close and bring my lips to his. I kiss him, and he soon reciprocates. The strength I feel helps me act on the decisions I've made silently in my mind, and when his hand grabs onto my hip, I break the kiss to swiftly move on to him. His lips part, but before words escape, I lean down and mend the connection. He shifts beneath me, and the pressure of our kiss grows. I feel both his hands on my waist now, and when he squeezes, I take in a quick breath. He hardly pulls away. My hands fall to his shoulders, and he asks, "What are you doing?" I peer down at him, and our eyes connect. It's as if he's caught me sneaking something I'm not allowed to have. This needs to happen. I can't wait any longer. There are no words able to convince him, so I take the next step and grab the end of my shirt. His eyes bore into mine as I pull my top off and let it fall behind me. His eyes beg me to not let him. My hands return to his face and I kiss him again. After I feel his hands slowly drift up my bare back, he brings me closer to him, as close as I can be. His kiss strays from my lips and trickles to my neck. I grab at his shirt and pull it up, and he gives me what I want when he takes it off for me. My skin rests against his. My mind is clear. He moves and lays me down, my head sinking into my pillow. The fear and anxiety are gone, but my heart races anyway. And as he kneels above me, I grip at the sheets. I bite my cheek and wait for my instincts to kick in. Adam looks down at me for too long, warning me that he's getting stuck in his own head. I push up and grab his upper arms, bringing him back to me. "It's okay," I say softly, and his eyes find mine. "You won't hurt me. I'm not made of glass. This is what you want?" I nod and breathe, "Yes." The rest of our clothes are abandoned. When the time comes, he hovers above me, he looks into my eyes and pushes into me. My arms immediately wrap around him, and my eyes shut as my brow furrows. He tells me to look at him, so I do. He moves, and soon the awkward sensation fades. I instantly feel the fullness, and the pleasure seeps through, warm and so very intimate. Afterward, I lay in his arms until he falls asleep. Once I'm sure he's succumbed to exhaustion, I return to the bathroom and close the door as to not wake him up. I fill the bath, then soak in the hot water. My desire lingers. It urges me to do everything over again and again. I wanted to do it. I needed to do it. No matter what happens, he'll be okay. I run out into the snow. My feet plow through as I hurry, as my eyes stare up at the thing. I drop my backpack to the ground once I reach it. My hands touch the bark to make sure the tree is really here, and when I don't go tumbling through it like a hologram, I know that it's actually in front of me. The orange tree stands tall and sturdy. Its many branches splay out with smaller limbs sprouting in every direction. The greenest leaves coat the branches, and amongst the thousands of them are bright fruits. My eyes bounce from fruit to fruit in disbelief. I reach up and pluck a low-hanging one. I run my fingers over its skin and roll it between my hands. Lifting it to my nose, I smell the thing, but it doesn't emit the scent of an orange, nor does it look like one. "Careful there." My eyes shoot forward. My father walks from behind the tree, appearing out of thin air. I squeeze the fruit in my hand and take steps back. "You don't want to take a bite of the forbidden fruit," he warns. I look down at the one in my hand and impulsively pry it open. It gives in, and at its center are small insects crawling about. A worm-like bug tears through the fruit's flesh, and I drop it to the snow. I frantically wipe my hands on my jacket, and when I look up, my father is gone. I turn back to the house, and Adam is standing on the porch, staring at the tree. Frightened, I pick up my bag and clamber to him. He's, I struggle to speak. "Didn't you see him?" Adam helps me up the steps, and I urge him to come inside with me. "What is that? Where did that come from?" He questions, walking through the doors but turning back to look through the glass. "Was that there this morning?" "Didn't you see him?" I ask again. "My father, he was there. He was by the tree." "I didn't see anyone," he says. "I came in the house after you, saw that the back doors were open, and you were standing by that tree. You dropped something and ran over." "Burn it," I say suddenly. "Where did it come from?" he asks. "There's snow everywhere. How did a fruit tree appear overnight?" I grab his arm, and he looks to me. "Please, burn it. Get rid of it." I let go and head into the kitchen. Adam follows me and comes around the counter island as I place my backpack down at the breakfast nook. I stare at the tree through the window, imagining the many little bugs crawling all over my hands, all over my body. "Your father was there? What did he say? Where did he go?" I shake my head. He just disappeared. He was only there for a moment. "Wrenley, what did he want?" I continue to watch the tree until Adam physically turns me to face him. Instead of answering his question, I ask again, "Get rid of it, please. I don't want it there. Please, Adam, please." "What is it?" I don't know. I planted the seeds, but they aren't oranges. It's evil. The fruits are full of bugs," and he said. Tears well in my eyes, and I don't calm down until I'm watching Adam swing at it with an axe. I stand at the bay window with a blanket wrapped around me. The ungodly thing plummets to the ground, and Adam breaks it apart, cutting off branches and chopping the trunk into shorter pieces. He drags each piece away until all that remains is a stump. Adam leaves the axe on the porch and comes inside. I rush to him and wrap my arms around him. He wipes the sweat from his forehead, his chest rising and falling, and I refuse to let go. "It's gone now, okay?" He breathes. I reach up and kiss him hard before murmuring, "I love you," against his lips. He lifts me and takes me upstairs where he makes love to me for the second time. We lay together between the sheets, and I consider asking for more. But my phone starts to vibrate from my discarded uniform on the floor. I slip out of bed before Adam can hold me hostage. He sits up and watches as I grab my phone and as I answer. "Hello?" I say and cover myself with the throw blanket that lays across the end of the bed. "Wrenley, I've been texting you," Vivian's voice scolds me. Something bad has happened, and are you at Adam's? I'm coming to get you." "What you mean? What happened?" "Eli found his mate." My eyes widen. "What? Okay, come get me. Where are we going?" "Alara's the one that told me. Imogen is already with her. She didn't tell us where Eli is." "God, okay, I'll see you in a few." I hang up and face Adam. "I have to go," I explain and pick up the rest of my uniform. "Vivian is on her way to get me." Just then, Adam's name is called from downstairs. Together, we scramble to get dressed. Ben is waiting at the bottom of the staircase. The second he sees us coming down, he says to Adam, "We have a rogue situation." "What is it?" Adam asks, somewhat irked by the interruptions. "It's on the south side of town, to Mass. I don't know specifics yet, but we need to head over there now." He looks to me, aware of the recently established rule that I cannot be left alone in case my father shows up. "Vivian is already on her way over. You can leave. She'll be here any minute." Adam hesitates. "I'll be fine," I assure him. Before leaving with Ben, he tells me, "Lock the door behind us and stay inside until she's here." I do as I'm told. I wait in the living room, looking out the window at the road for Vivian's car. The idea of Eli and Alara not being together swims around in my head, but doesn't feel right. I don't think it ever will. I hope it wasn't painful, dragged out, and heart-wrenching for Alara's sake. The two of them didn't have some soul bond, but that doesn't excuse Alara from feeling heartbreak. A car horn sounds, and I look up to find Vivian outside. I rush out the front door and jog over to her. The second I open the car door, I'm met with her sorrowful face. I climb in and secure my seatbelt as she says, "They're at Alara's house." We sit in silence. There is nothing I can say to relate to Alara. We're the lucky ones. Imogen, Vivian, and I. We either have a mate or are able to find one. Alara has been cut out of her relationship of many years for a reason completely out of either of their control. It's unfair. It's cruel, and so very sudden. But was she prepared for this day? She had to have known it would come eventually. Alara lives on the south side of town in a sweet neighborhood of houses, with picket fences and bare flower beds now covered by snow. Vivian pulls to the curb in front of a white house with black detailing that looks as if it was hauled out of a magazine. I follow Vivian as she gets out of the car and makes her way to the door. In the driveway is Alara's old Beetle, and seeing it reminds me of how cold I was able to feel before. Alara's mother opens the door. "Hi, girls," she says somberly. "It's nice of you to stop by. Alara is in her room with Imogen. Head on up." As Vivian and I ascend the stairs, I quietly ask, "What does her mom think happened?" "Probably that they broke up," Vivian suggests. Obviously, she doesn't know what Eli is. Alara's bedroom is bright and feminine, and she sticks out like a withered rose in a beautiful bouquet with her tear-stained cheeks and tousled hair. She sits on her bed, surrounded by pillows, and Imogen is right there with her. Vivian and I sit at the end of the bed, creating a circle for gossiping, laughing, or in this case, crying. As teenage girls, this is what we do best. We come together to keep each other company when one of us is hurting. "What in the world happened?" Vivian asks. Imogen peers down at Alara, who's hugging a heart-shaped pillow to her chest. Alara sits up and wipes the stray tears from under her eyes. "We were just at the park down the street building a snowman," she begins, "and suddenly he got all weird. At first it was like he was trying to ignore it, but I guess she was getting closer because he couldn't hold back anymore. He gave me this look, and I just knew. I just knew she was here. He said he was sorry. It was like the past 2 years never even happened. He said sorry as if that means anything. Her breath hiccups. We wait patiently. I just walked away. I didn't want to be there when he meets her. I walked back home and told my mom that we broke up. I'd rather have him break up with me, she says, her voice cracking. I'd rather him end things before she got here, so then I know it's not because she's better than me. He was mine. He was my boyfriend, and suddenly some girl waltzes in and takes him away. Alara leans onto Imogen, and Imogen takes her into her arms. I look down at my hands as they rest on my lap. I know what you're thinking, she murmurs. I know it was going to happen someday. I just thought I'd have more time. And it may be pathetic, but a part of me wished he could choose me over her when the time came. It's stupid. I know. How can he pick me over his soulmate? I don't want to talk about it. I just want to pretend like he doesn't exist anymore. We're here for you, Imogen says. Just because Eli found his mate doesn't mean we're going to replace you. You're still one of us no matter what. This brings a small smile to her face. Can we talk about something else? Something happy? I look to Vivian. Vivian nods. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it. We can talk about, well, what's something good? We can talk about Adam and me, I offer, wanting to distract Alara. Alara nods. Yeah. Tell us what's going on. I sigh. Well, I've been staying with him since our little falling out, and we've gotten really close. At this point, I can confidently say that I would do anything for him. I would die if it meant he could live. Wow, Wrenley, Vivian says. When did this happen? I've been going through some things with my family, and it's really showed me what I care about most, and I know he would do the same for me. We slept together. Vivian takes in a deep breath, which causes Imogen to roll her eyes. Alara says, really? But I'm suddenly enveloped in Vivian's arms. She squeezes me before reeling back. It finally happened, she whispers. Okay, I exaggerate. But yes, it happened, and then it happened again. Imogen cracks up, and eventually all of us are having a laugh. You know, I cut in. It's kind of nice to talk about it like this. Everything always feels so serious. Come on, tells us more. Okay. Let's just say that I won't be free to hang out the next few nights. We continue talking and laughing. It's all worth it when I see Alara wiping tears from her eyes that aren't being shed out of sadness. I'm glad that I can take away her pain even for a little while.